My audience, a very small background on yourself, because I think you've got quite a cool story from where you started, where you're at now with coaching.
Or I saw a little vein in my right bicep. Man, that just gave me like motivation to show up the next day. And just like ever since then, went to the gym.
I didn't realize how, like, in terms of like the dates and like when obviously through COVID you invested in yourself. I made a big investment in COVID. I used that time really wisely as well. So I started building my online app.
The perfect opportunity now for like to go all in on my online business. Paid $6,000 for an 8-week mentorship. Changed my life. Best investment ever made.
I think that's a really important mindset to have as well. And I think that obviously a lot of people struggle to make investments and stuff in terms of like bettering themselves. And I think that's a big problem.
One thing that cannot be taken from you is your own knowledge, your experience, your skill set. So it's like the better you grow, the better you become, the more you learn, the more you earn, and just the better you are.
Moving out of your home country, I think helps you really like develop and grow up, and leaving that initial comfort, I think is really important.
You want to be waking up every Sunday morning like just feeling depressed, wishing your life away and only starting feeling good till Wednesday and then living for the weekend? Or do you want to just like do the uncomfortable thing now, but your future self will thank you?
I think that if I had to say like what is the one trait that will get you success just in general in life, would be discipline. Adrian, good to have you on, or is it mine? Is it yours? I don't really know whose podcast.
I think we should do a collab, man. Yeah, that's just share it. Yeah.
Collab it. Yeah. How's things been with you recently?
Yeah, good, man. Good. I've been training wise going really good. I've like this year, the last 12 months, it's really been like cardio dominant. I did half marathon prep, 2 high rocks prep. So
Nice.
I haven't given my body a chance to actually build. So for the first time in a few years now, just like scaling back the cardio, doing more like just strength work, resting, easing back in the cardio, and I'm feeling stronger. Yeah, not too bad.
In my audience, a very small background on yourself, because I think you've got quite a story
Yeah.
where you started, where you're at now with coaching.
Yeah. So I used to be a primary school teacher, 4.5 years. Really like would have been very, very athletic and fit, played team sports growing up, but never went to the gym at all. And I think everyone has a moment where they want to change. And for me, it was like I went to college, man. It was like 20 girls in our class, 5 guys, and there was 2 Adrians. And I got called small Adrian out of the 2. And that kind of stung, man. I was like, right, if other people see it, it's like maybe I'm feeling a bit skinny myself. So went to the gym my first year in college, and I know some people it's like they don't see progress pretty quick in the gym. First ever workout I did, I saw I saw a little vein in my right bicep. Man, that just gave me like motivation to show up the next day. And just like ever since then, went to the gym. Long story short, before I ever taught a day as a teacher, went to Muscle Beach in America, California for a 12-week holiday. Saw like guys there just jacked, working out, literally the number one like number one fitness place in the world. I'm like, God, I would love to make that a career. Like, how cool would that be? Like, you be a coach, you get to help other people out. And like before I ever taught a day, Chris, I was just like, that's something I want to do. So remember when I got back, I taught during the day, got my certification, coach clients in the evening, and I was doing like in person in a local gym in town, and then I was doing like teaching during the day until COVID. And you know yourself, school shut down. And I'm like, and all the people like just use COVID to, I don't know, drink more, to just
100%.
freaking not better themselves.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the perfect opportunity now for like to go all in on my online business. So like basically took a online certification course, paid $6,000, which was a lot of time or a lot of money for me for the time, for an 8-week mentorship. Changed my life.
Yeah.
Best investment ever made. And then I was like, holy shit, I was like, the easiest way to get where I want to be is just find someone who's done the thing you want to do. I'd rather pay in money than pay in time, because look, you know yourself, you can always work more, but you can't get your time back.
Yeah.
And that single decision then helped me within 6 months to go from full-time permanent teaching job, one of the best schools, like probably the best school in Galway, to quitting that. I couldn't wait till the end of the year. You had to wait like until June before school's finished up. I'm like, nah, I'll just quit now. I don't want to wait. This was Christmas time. So left that early, and ever since December 2020, so we're coming on 5 years now, been full-time online. And yeah, just one thing led to another, man.
That's actually really similar to my story as well. I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Yeah.
like in terms of like the dates and like when obviously through COVID you invested in yourself. I made a big investment in COVID. I used that time really wisely as well. So I started building my online up. And then Yeah, I think for me, when did I actually go fully online? It was probably around about a similar point.
Yeah,
I was
you're
personal training a little bit at the time anyway, so I was obviously
yeah.
mixing between them both. But obviously with COVID, I couldn't. Went back to very little PT afterwards, and then yeah, went all in with online. And then
What was your degree? You were
my yeah,
for
well, I was yeah, I did sports
yeah.
science. I mean, I did well. I think it was actually like exercise and fitness management. I mean, I don't know what the management part was. I didn't really learn much about that. I think I'd love to say that that degree was really useful to me in terms of what we're doing now, but it really wasn't, to be honest. Like I take uni in a completely different way. Like I'm glad that I did go, and I grew up a lot, and I think it was probably one of the most like transformative parts of my life. A bit like moving to Dubai, which was just a bit later on.
Yeah.
But in terms of what I learned at uni, it wasn't worth it because I didn't
Sure.
personally like. You obviously went into a job, yeah, you needed a degree, so it kind of for you probably at the time made sense.
It made sense.
It made sense, but like for me, like I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and obviously then when I went into personal training after that was like my direct route out of university. I was like, well, I didn't really need to go to university
Yeah.
to do that. So from that perspective, probably didn't feel like it was worth it, and I've obviously accrued a lot of debt, which I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to pay as well. We'll see. Obviously, and being in Dubai, it's like
Yeah.
I still get like these texts coming through from Russian finances. Probably shouldn't talk about that too much. But anyway, like that bit of kind of yeah. I think there's a lot of guys in a similar boat. I conversation like this a few times with lots of people like it. But yeah, like I think it's the growing up part that was the big
Sure.
bit for me. Like
Yeah.
actually stepping out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
leaving home, going and living in at the time as I was in Portsmouth, and just growing up as a person. And it's like moving to Dubai. I'm sure you felt the same. Like the next big step for me was actually leaving the UK, leaving
Yeah.
a stable life, and moving to Dubai. And then I grew up again. So I think every time I was taking those risks, which
Yeah, I
always
think you just constantly reinvent and improve yourself. It's like,
yeah.
even I look back at content that I was doing the start of this year, I'm like, geez, that delivery aid was absolutely shit, man. You say way, way better. But in a way, I'm like, that's not a bad thing. Like maybe I'll listen to this podcast in 1 year's time, like, God, I could have told that story better. My delivery could have been better, my tonality. And I think the worst place to be is just stagnant. It's like I'm always looking for improvement. If I'm improving, if I'm growing business, fitness, lifestyle, whatever it is, like, so that's why for me making that move to Dubai is like you could just live at home and like chill out and have it pretty comfortable but then it's like, what if?
That's the key thing though. I like the key word and it's comfort. It's like comfort kills growth. I think that was where I felt, which is one of the reasons why I moved. And it's like you said earlier about the investing part as well. Like that's like all we're speaking about all the time. It's like, oh, what have you invested in? What mastermind are you in? It's for us, it's like we just see that part of our lifestyle now. Like,
Sure.
how can I spend more money to get further ahead in life? It's just like I think that's a really important mindset to have as well. And I think that obviously a lot of people struggle to make investments and stuff in terms of like bettering themselves. And I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, it's like, look, you can, even with this, like, look, no one knows what's to come in the future, whether it's with AI, with technology, what it's like. One thing that cannot be taken from you is your own knowledge, your experience, your skill set. So it's like the better you grow, the better you become, the more you learn, the more you earn, and just the better you are. So for me, it's just like, man, it's just having that growth based mindset, I think, is huge. Because I used to think, honestly, when I got my PT started initially, I'm like, oh, I know it all now. I don't need to, this is it. I know everything. Now I'm like, there's so much I don't even know that I don't know. I mean, hear other people say things like, God, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
It's like you tap into other people's mind and you just grow and you learn from different people.
Yeah. 100%. What was so obviously you moved to Dubai. What was your reason for actually moving to Dubai? Because obviously you, similar to me, probably started your online coaching.
Yeah,
What was that
yeah.
initial like reason?
There was a few reasons. So the first year, so I went from like, seeing 200 plus people a day in work and school to the first year working for myself is like, geez, this can actually be a bit lonely because like it's your laptop, it's Zoom calls, it's client check-ins and whatnot. So my second year, I moved to Marbella. I was there for like 5 months and I liked aspects of it. It was pretty chill. It was nice, obviously good weather, good
Yes,
vibes.
I remember that.
But I was like, yeah, I don't know. The Spanish people, it's an awesome place, man. But I don't think I could live there. They're just like a bit too relaxed for my liking. So then I went back home again, like, right, I'm gonna try Dublin. So I'm from Galway, so Dublin's the capital of Ireland. Stay there for a few months. Again, just I don't know, didn't like the vibe. I was like, I want to try somewhere different. So that's when I started. Before, just as I about to start working with charity, we had a mutual mentor. I'm like, he's over there. Seems to be a lot of like-minded people over there. Let's give this place a go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Yeah,
Same as me.
that's October 2023. You were there before me.
You were
About
23.
yeah, we met at that first. We met like 2 years ago around
Yeah.
the first mastermind.
That was it. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I must have literally moved a year before then. I moved in October 22.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's like,
you told me. I remember when I met you. You told me that you were there for a year. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah,
oh man, you know yourself. Out here, it's like, yeah, it just opens you up to higher level of thinking. It's like,
yeah,
I feel, I'm pretty sure the UK mentality is pretty similar. It's like there's a lot of begrudging mentality I feel amongst Irish, and it's almost like I heard a great saying that, look, would you hug someone who has the measles? You probably wouldn't. Yet if you hang around with too many small and narrow-minded people that nearly try to drag you down, I just felt with the Irish mentality for a lot of people, and there's a lot of great Irish people too that that are absolutely amazing that we speak to quite often. But just if you look at the I'd say, I guess, the Irish people as a whole, it's like, I feel you just kind of get pulled down to
yeah. People
that
don't
level.
necessarily want to see other people doing like better, do they? It's
For
like
sure.
crabs in the bucket mentality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think I don't mean on this to like, I don't like to like slate the UK and stuff. I think I hear that a lot now.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that. I mean, I think in general, like moving out of your home country,
Yeah.
I think helps you really like develop and grow up, and
Yeah.
leaving that initial comfort, I think is really important. But yeah, I think in terms of growth and like business and stuff like that, for being in Dubai, it's arguably there isn't really a better
Yeah.
place in the world. I've obviously explored a lot, like, in the last 12 months, I've traveled a little bit. But I think from a business standpoint, I still probably stand by that being in Dubai is the best place for
Yeah.
really, really pushing and getting to that kind of next level with your business and stuff. But it's nice to have the ability to be able to travel a little
It is,
well,
yeah. And then it's like you appreciate sometimes like just going back home. Then when you do like every whatever, I get home 3 times a year usually for client events. I know you've got an event coming up. We've an event coming up too. It's like it makes you appreciate then, I guess, sometimes life away when you actually go back for a week or two.
It does. It does. I think it's just good timing. So obviously we're recording this
Yeah.
podcast in December. So I mean, I'm sure like yourself have given clients a lot of advice this month, what to do, how to maintain. Like, I guess going into that, like what kind of advice have you been giving your clients this month? What would
Yeah.
you say your biggest kind of like takeaway?
Well, respectfully, it's like what you eat between Christmas and New Year's is not going to be as important as what you eat between New Year's and Christmas. So it's like,
Oh boy.
if you're on it for 51 weeks of the year, and even one week, which I don't recommend anyone to do, you go on a complete blowout. Look, respectfully, it might take you 2 or 3 weeks to get back in track. But the reality is, I think for a lot of people, it's like, look, they want to have a good Christmas, enjoy some social events, but still like not wake up in January 1st feeling like, God, I think I pushed the boundary there too much. So it's like, just adjust the dial. So if the dial is at like an 8 or 9 out of 10 all year, it's okay to turn it to like a 6, we'll say. But it should never be a 0. That's the key thing. So I like personally for me, I actually recorded a podcast on this. It's like if I were to describe like the perfect day for me for Christmas, it'd be like get up in the morning, hydrate, get a workout in. You've got lots of food in you from the day before. You're gonna have amazing pumps, right? So get your session in. It's just like I like to look forward to a bigger meal towards evening. So if you keep the meals like relatively lean and clean, breakfast, lunch, and have a nice big dinner, the one plate rule, like these small little things to look forward to. I think it's a nice way to get the best of both worlds. And then it's just like, look, when it comes to alcohol, it's like pick and choose. It's like just because you go to an event doesn't mean there's an obligation to drink. And honestly, Chris, there's like we were working coaching some clients. One guy comes to mind, 50 years old, and his goal was he wanted to get a flat stomach. Parts of this, like, he plays football on the weekend, plays a bit of tennis too, and all of his mates, it's tradition, they go to the pub on Friday and Saturday. And for him, it's like he wanted the socializing, which is absolutely fine, completely understandable, but he didn't want to drink. But for someone in his 50s, he couldn't say no to just like giving into peer pressure and saying, do you know what, I want to show up, but I might just have the, slimline tonic or the alcohol free. And as a result, he just didn't get the complete results that he would have wanted. So I think for a lot of people, they feel like pressurized to nearly drink or do things just because other people are around. And that goes back to environment. It's like, if I'm out with you and you say you're not drinking, I'm not going to say, oh, Chris, come on, will you just have one? It's like, I respect that decision. So
100%. Yeah, I agree. Like I used to be like that, but like I honestly don't care now. Like I will go out. I mean, the type of people that I go out with now, generally like alcohol's not really a massive thing. Like I'm sure I don't really have lots of friends that like drink huge amounts of alcohol. Of course, like, it's a little bit thing, but I honestly don't care anymore. If I say no to drinking now, it doesn't even cross my mind. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I'm getting judged. And I used to probably I used to be a little bit different. I think it was like, it's maybe changed a little. And when I was growing up, like, I feel like alcohol was kind of a little bit more cool. And I feel like everyone kind of went through that stage where, like, if you really didn't drink when you were younger, I feel like that was just a bit weird.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just things have changed a little bit now. I think it's kind of more like acceptable not to. I don't think people really care as much. I think the world's gone in a slightly different way. I don't know, obviously, in terms of kids that are growing up around 18, 19 and stuff, but like, I don't think people really care. People think that people care, but I don't think people actually do really care that much. Like, all right, someone might make a passing comment, like, and for like 5 seconds they say something and there's a little bit of a laugh in a group, but then there's a shit. Everyone's like getting on with their own life and drinking their own thing. So I think that peer pressure, people build that up more than actually what it's like. And realistically, if those people actually do give a shit, they're not the sort of type of friends you should have. Like, that's the way it comes down to. Like, those people actually almost like challenging your goals and your decisions. Like,
they're just projecting their insecurities on you.
This is the thing.
It's pretty much
true. Yeah. It's true. Like, we had I still remember we get this all the time, but one guy distinctively who like did a photo shoot. It must have been around Christmas time. It must have been a couple of years ago. But like, again, we do shoots at the end of the year, pretty similar to yourself. So it goes through this period, and like a lot of the time, our guys have got to be able to go through these social situations and chat and get around them and stuff. And like, I think he had like a work or a night out with his friends around Christmas time, and it was like 2 weeks away from the shoot. He's like, "Obviously, I don't want to drink. Like, I'm not going to drink." And he said he was just getting so much shit from his mates. They were like telling him that he was skinny, and they were like, "Why aren't you having a beer? You're boring. You look like you've got no, like, you're like looking really like skinny, and like your face is really drawn and stuff." And he came back and he felt like shit. And I was like, look, like, obviously I had to explain to him, get back on track and stuff. I was like, that's the problem. That's the mentality. I think, again, like, not being drawing too many parallels, but I think that again is a bit of a UK thing, like, to some perspective. Like, so alcohol here is completely different.
100%.
Just another one of those little things.
It's little culture and normal.
Culture, right? Yeah. It feels like that's the kind of thing now as well. And I get it. Like, if people want to have alcohol and they enjoy it, it's like 100%, it's fine. But don't have it because you feel like you have to have it. Like, have it because you actually enjoy it and you want it. Like, I came to a realization recently, or maybe like a year ago, where I was like, I don't really need alcohol. Like, I used to have it because it was just like, why not? And someone would offer me it, and then I actually thought about it. I was like, actually, why am I drinking? Like, what's the reason why I'm drinking?
100%.
I was like, actually, like, I don't need it. Like, am I drinking because I want to be more confident? I was like, well, that's sad. Like, realistically, I can't go and talk to someone because I'm not drinking. That's really sad. So I kind of like had a word with myself on that. I was like, do I really like the taste? Not really. Like, it's I can have a Diet Coke, and I'm happy to have a Diet Coke or whatever. It doesn't really bother me that much. There's so many alcohol-free options. So I was like, really, like, what is the reason why I'm doing it? Like, what I'm putting something in my body that my body doesn't like. It's gonna make me feel like shit tomorrow. I'm not going to train. My recovery is going to suck. Probably going to have a hangover. So it's like, what's the actual reason behind it?
I think for a lot of it, it's just escapism.
It's
like,
exactly.
That's what it was for me. It was just like, you don't want to face the reality of, okay, for me, it was like, God, I don't really like the way I look, but frick it, I'll feel good about myself for 3 hours while I start drinking. That was in college, that was it when you're young. But it's like, you just got to get to a point where you got to, just confront the truth and just decide, like, okay, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to be waking up every Sunday morning, like, just feeling depressed, wishing your life away and only starting feeling good till Wednesday and then living for the weekend? Or do you want to just like do the uncomfortable thing now, but your future self will thank you?
Agreed. I think it's about trying to find out because you're right, it's escapism, right? A lot of the time, it's about trying to find out what is it you're escaping from. Like you said, like, sometimes sitting down and actually trying to figure out what it is that you feel like you need to escape from. Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Like, there's something there that realistically needs to actually be fixed. The alcohol isn't fixing it. It's like paving over the crack, and then the crack appears again. So that's, I think, the problem that a lot of people sometimes have. But like you said, that's why they drink. Because I mean, I'm sure you've had clients as well that have come on and like, I drink a lot of alcohol. I can't control it. It's a thing I struggle with. And we kind of find out why it is they're doing it, and we try and figure out what's the internal reason why they're having alcohol. And if you are just a general social person, I've got a few clients. And drinkers, like, we can fit that in your lifestyle. Like, it's not. I'm not sat here saying alcohol's the worst thing ever. You can still have it, but I think that it's just understanding why.
If there's a reliance on it, that's where
reliance. Of course. I don't think this time of year, naturally, of course, people want to have a few more drinks and stuff like that. And it's back like what we were saying about kind of this month and stuff. Like, I think a lot of of the clients that we're working with right now, it's kind of like I draw them into one or two camps. And it's like either they're still really wanting to push at the moment and they genuinely don't really care about Christmas. They're like, I'm going to have a few days of Christmas.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I generally feel like I can continue to lose weight and I can continue to keep getting good results. And there are some people like that right now. And I'm not going to challenge them because it's December. But then we've also got a large group of clients which are in the position of, I just want to maintain. I just want to enjoy. I just want to keep training. I want to maintain a healthy habits. And as long as I don't gain a bunch of weight, I'm actually happy. And I've had that conversation with a few clients as well. So I think it's about trying to figure out which camp you're in, really. Like, you kind of a mix between them both, or you generally want to keep pushing your result at the moment. I mean, we've got a shoot next week. So we've got a bunch of clients that obviously are pushing fat loss at the moment. So they're like, right, I'm all in.
That's good, man. It's good. Like, there's a great saying, I think Ed might said it. Christmas is a holiday, not a holiday month.
Yeah, that's it.
What's like December 1st hits the calendar, most people just write it off to January. But it's like, really, Christmas, it's like a handful of days. It's like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it's New Year's if you want, and it's whatever in between.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't need to be an either or. You can do both. And I think you made a good point there that it's like, sometimes maintenance can be a form of progress. So if you're going into the Christmas and you have a good time and then your weight doesn't really spike drastically, it's like, I would take that. It's like, that's really good progress. But it's just where people go to town. It's like, you know, they're on low calories. They haven't had these foods in a while. Then all of a sudden they have a blowout, and it can be hard. If you're in a routine of doing that, even 2-3 days, that can be hard, like for the first week or two of January coming out of it, because you got that sugar addiction.
Yeah. True.
All right. So it's just being careful of that too, that you don't completely go to town on it.
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, maintenance, what do most people struggle with? What do 90% of people struggle with, right? Maintaining weight loss. Like, everyone gains the weight back. So if you can prove to yourself across a month, which is obviously going to be hard,
100%.
arguably the hardest month of the year, that you can maintain your weight, then like, you're better than 90% of people. And it should give you so much confidence, because if you can do that in December, then imagine where you'll be in the new year and January, February, March, when naturally you're going to be more motivated. You're going to find there's less distractions and less things in your way. So I think maintenance is a great thing. Like, I always, clients check in some weeks and they're like, oh, you know, I've maintained my weight this week. I'm like, you've been out 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's bad? Like, that's amazing. You've maintained your weight, yet you've been out, you've socialized, you've eaten out, you've done all these nice things, you've had a few drinks, and you still maintain your weight. Like,
100%.
you wouldn't be that wouldn't be a problem at the start of the program, right? It's just that you be pushing fat loss, which is like a thing. So,
and on that point though, it's like, right, so this comes back to, when is the perfect time to start? So I'm sure you've had it before. It's like, guys are like, look, I'd like to do it, but I only do it when, you know, I've got 3 events coming up at work. I've got Christmas, I've got a holiday coming up. I'm like, the inverse of that is true. The exact reason why you should start now is because you've got Christmas, is because you got an event coming up, because that implies then that every time you have a busy period of work, every time you have to travel for business, every time that a Christmas holiday, a family holiday, whatever the holiday, you name it, you put your fitness on pause. So that means that you can only make progress when times are perfect, which therefore means that you're in this constant, never in the loop of being on track, being off track, being on track until the holiday. So it's like, we had one guy come to us, and he was in Lake Garda for like 2 weeks in Italy, had an amazing time with his family, felt confident with his top off, didn't gain any weight. She's like, geez, that gave me the confidence that like, I actually wanted to train while I was on holidays. And will give me the confidence that next time I'm on holidays and I want to enjoy myself with the family, that my fitness doesn't have to go to a 0.
100%. Yeah. It's so true. Like, the on it or off it mindset is what kills 90% of people, especially guys. I mean, I'd say more guys, this is like, work with more guys, have seen it happen more. But like, this whole, like, I'm on it, I'm off it. It just, like you say, with December, you need to see fitness as a seasonal, as not a seasonal thing, as just something that you just do all the time, right? Part of your life. And that's why, like you said, like, starting now is so important, because if you can prove to yourself that you can do something in December, the rest of the time is easy. Like, it's easy to do things when we're motivated. I think people forget that sometimes. For sure. Like, it's so simple. Like, when you get to January and you're motivated and you want to get in shape, like, respectfully, it's pretty freaking easy, isn't it? Like, let's be honest. Obviously, motivation dies, and most people by February are back to where they started again. But if you can actually get rid of the motivation aspect, build the lifestyle, and actually understand that, like, that's the discipline and the consistency is what's going to get you there, and see it as a lifestyle, that's when you're going to start to actually get progress and make results. So this is why, I agreed. Like, December is the best time to start. Literally, like, if you can do something now, make imperfect action, the rest
100%.
of the year becomes quite simple.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the approach that most people take. And then I think another thing as well that I've been kind of telling people is, one is just like the strength training aspect. Like, I think that if you can maintain strength and muscle throughout this month, your metabolism is going to be working a lot better for you as well. So I've been explaining to my clients, like, even if you're eating not as well at the moment and the food's a little bit higher, just keep training, like keep muscle high,
Yeah.
keep making sure that you're hitting your weight sessions, because like we said, like if you've got more muscle, you're going to burn more calories, you don't have to do anything, which is almost like an easy way to just maintain across the month as well.
Yeah.
So it's just the basic habits of not like falling off track entirely.
Yeah. Where do you find, because we coach like similar like clientele, I would say, like
Yeah.
typically, executive or businessmen, and they're 35 plus, I would say. Like, what do you feel are some of the, I don't know, the biggest challenges or biggest mistakes that, some of these guys are making?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, where's the first one? Like, first one is probably going to be like we just said, on it and off it.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing, because I think the guys are just so inconsistent. They can't ever maintain consistency across like months, 6 weeks. And it's when life is chaotic, these guys struggle, right? Guys that are, over 30, that have got a busy job, families. When things are okay, like they can do it, they can train, they start well, but it's when chaos and life starts to unfold a little bit where these guys start to struggle, when there are work stress deadlines, family and stuff. Maybe there's a few issues with there. And like, so I think it's just being able to adapt your fitness routine and stay consistent all the time, and actually understand that you don't need to be perfect to be able to get great results.
100%.
And all the guys that we've coached that have had really successful transformations have been far from perfect. They've made mistakes. They've gone out and, had bad nights, bad evil, whatever, but they've still managed to make progress. So I think there's that level of consistency, which is really important. I think the other thing typically guys struggle with is understanding like what to do, how to train in the gym. There's still a lot of guys, lots of running. Yeah, exactly, right? People think that cardio is, again, I'm sure you speak to guys all the time that still think that doing running and cardio is going to be the key thing. I explain to guys all the time how important it is to maintain levels of muscle mass, especially over 30. Because as you start to lose muscle over 30, your metabolism slows down, you gain body fat. So I think that for just for guys, but in general, like we have to be making sure that we're prioritizing strength training, we're getting stronger, we're building a metabolism. And when you've got a metabolism, like you don't need to be able to do that much to be able to keep the fat off.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think they're like the biggest things. It's like, how can we continue routine through chaos, continue being consistent, and understand that the strength training and the making time for that is so important. It's like it has to be put into the calendar as a meeting. What about yourself? What would you say are some of the things that you
like on top of everything you said there, like that all or nothing mindset, the myth that cardio is like the best way to burn belly fat. I'd say two other things. The first is the 23 in the 1 hour. It's like, then you got guys, it's like, right, I'm going to my local PT boot camp for 3 1-hour sessions. We do a spinning class. We do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and mountain climbers burpees, which essentially is working out. It's recreation. It's not training. How come I sit on my belly fat 6 months later? It's like, okay, so there's 168 hours in the week. You train for 3 hours. You work out for 3 hours. You don't even train. But then you just think that, like, those 3 hours of magic going to burn your body fat. So many guys come to them like, I was doing a small group PT, or I was going to a semi-PT for, 4 people in a class or 15 people in a class where everyone's doing the same exercise. You're just lifting different weights, but I haven't really made any progress. I'm like, they just told you to eat healthy and expect that to get you over the line. It's like, unless you don't have a predictable strategy in place, your nutrition, like, okay, so you use your nutrition as a means to change your body weight. Strength training will change your body composition. But it doesn't matter, Chris, you know yourself, if you work out 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then you eat like a 10-year-old child for the other 22, 23 hours.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes, except you might look a bit meatier with a bit more body fat, but it's like nobody wants that.
It's so true. I mean, that's the thing. Like nutrition, as we know, is just like what people always say, like what this whole like, is it 80% or whatever? Like you said, like nutrition, I think is pretty much going to make up like 100% of your results to a certain extent. Because like you said, you could be strength training, you can be doing all the right workouts, but if you're not eating the right food, it kind of is a waste of time. You're not going to see any difference. But when you've got obviously both of those two things firing,
for
you
sure,
get great results. I see that a lot though. Like I have a lot of a lot of guys that say they've been to these boot camps or they've been getting these like group-based personal trainers and this really generic nutrition and stuff like that. And it's like, come on, like that stuff just doesn't work. Like a predictable nutritional strategy that's been built out specifically for that person It's always going to be the thing that's going to get the most amount of success. That doesn't involve cutting out carbs.
Yeah.
It doesn't involve them, having to cook separately from their family and things like that.
Yeah.
That's what people really need.
Yeah, I think that, and just it's like, your profit and loss in the business, your sales percentage is like, you don't even know your macros, you don't even know what you're putting into your mouth. So I think like people underestimate data, but data drives decisions, and what you can measure, you can manage. So it's like, you don't need to be obsessive, but it's like the way I see like counting calories, like imagine, Chris, you go to college. So you went to college. You didn't just get your degree in day one. You to earn the right to get that piece of paper. I think with nutrition, the exact same thing. It's like, look, if you even just count your calories, track everything for 30 days, everything you put into your mouth, it'll make you realize, God, like this small handful of peanut, or I would say nut, this has got 200 calories. 600 grams of strawberries, also 200 calories. So the more education, knowledge you have, like, okay, maybe if I combine this leaner source of protein, I have a smaller source of fat because it's 9 calories per gram. I have my carbohydrates around my workout. Maybe I'm not going to have this peanut butter because, it's quite calorie dense. And you build that education, you can get to a point where, look, you can probably pretty much eat intuitive, if you want to say, but you've got the education backed up from tracking. But where I think a lot of people go wrong is they say that I've never been a calorie counter. It's like they just label themselves. It's like, that's like you saying, I've never been able to ride a bike, but you didn't try it. It's like, it's because you get out a kitchen scale, you measure it. You don't need to be perfect. Going back to that perfectionist mindset, you put it into MyFitnessPal and it'll give you a rough estimate. It'll just give you a foundation. When you have that foundation knowledge, then it's like, right, I'm going to a business lunch. I probably can't calculate this, but if I have 3/4 of my plate, lean protein and some veggies, get my carbohydrates steamed instead of fried, this might come in at 700-800 calories, but at least you have that foundation knowledge.
100%.
So I think data there is important.
It's so important, yeah. It's like, it's just because people haven't been taught properly as well, right?
Yeah.
I get people that say that. They're like, the calorie counting didn't work for me. It's like, what? So I just didn't work. It's like, yeah, but do you know how to do it properly?
Yeah.
People just download MyFitnessPal because they just see something on Instagram or they just see that someone else had it, but they still don't know how to use it properly. It's like you said, like when we're actually understanding what we're putting in our body, like how much protein we're consuming, it's like that's predictable fat loss, which is when things can start to get really exciting. And then you're not just guessing anymore. Like you actually know, right, realistically, I'm going to reach my goal in this time frame. It's
100%.
But I agree. I don't think you need to track forever. Like I don't really track my food anymore. Like sometimes I go through periods, but at the moment I don't really need to because I'm eating a lot of food anyway. So I just kind of know what's going in and out. But I think you just get to a point where like you've been doing it for enough time.
100%.
You probably get to maintenance, which I think is what a lot of people need to get to, or they're not having to be in a calorie deficit anymore. And you can just make intuitive decisions because when your habits and you start to understand nutrition to that basic level, you don't really need to continue to track forever. So it's probably like a learning process that you go for at the start. You get to where you want to be and you spend that initial time frame to track. And then you can get to a point where you can just be a little bit more relaxed with it. And I think it's an earned thing. People want that from day one, but you need to earn the right to get to that position of freedom, 100%. Which comes down to hard work. People aren't prepared to put the hard work in. They're a bit monotonous.
Repetition, the mother of skill. But I think it depends too on the client. It's like, I find people who are in like finance or accounting or something like that, they work with numbers, they're like, do you know what? I actually love data. And they're like, was tracking. This is actually insane.
Yeah, some people was tracking. I do for them. I for this plan. I'm like, you did that. Like I've got one client I've been good for like 3 years, and like tracking is still unbelievable. I'm like, this guy is just on it, and I'm like, you don't even probably need to track to that level anymore, but you do.
But they like the data,
Exactly.
Like we had one guy, and I'm like, I was checking his food item, like, is today Monday or is today Tuesday? But what he does, he logs his food a day in advance. So he's like, I'm looking at Monday, the other is Tuesday's food, and like the whole food is for I'm like, I like that though. It's like, look, that shows someone is buying. It shows they enjoy the process too. And it's like, as you said then, it's like tracking calories, it can be a bit monotonous, but I think it's a good learning curve for everyone to go through, even just for 30 days.
I just think as well that like, what's the alternative here? Like the trade-off for spending 5 minutes per day, or let's say 10 minutes if you're not very good at tracking.
For sure.
To track your food, to really measure what's going in your body, to literally lose the belly fat, which is making you feel miserable, which is potentially like, getting you down, it's stopping you from doing X, Y, and Z. And all we're asking you to do is just spend 10 minutes to log some data on your phone, which you are probably using for 2 or 3 hours per day anyway. Like, go and check your screen time. You're on your phone anyway. All you've got to do is, all right, get some electric scales and start to do that. But it's like, the trade-off is that you will lose the fat, feel more confident, feel incredible, and get to a place where you're really happy just by spending 10 minutes a day. So this is what I don't really understand with people. People don't want to put the work in to achieve something which will literally change your life. Something that's getting people down, that's making them feel like miserable. Like, it's like, we're not asking you to do that much. So you go to the gym 3 or 4 days per week with a plan that tells you exactly what to do. Track your calories, like walk a bit more. I'm not trying to downplay what we do, because what we obviously what we do is massive, but I think people just don't want to put the work in now, and that's the problem. Like, tracking calories is not that hard, and it works. You know it works. If you do it properly, take the time to measure your food, you're gonna lose weight. And if you're not, you're probably either mistakenly not doing it right, or you're just literally not tracking properly. You're missing calories and stuff. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I think it's like, honestly, so this is Christmas time now is obviously coming up too. And it's like, look, I feel a lot of people that are like, oh, they've got these like self-fulfilling stories. It's just like, oh, the gym doesn't work for me, or counting the calories doesn't work for me. But in reality, they're half pregnant. They do it for a day. They don't do it for a day. They try something for a week. They've got these like false expectations. And it's just like, they give up way too easily.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, one word that I hate, man, it's balance. It's like, I want everything to be balanced. It's like, God forbid, you've been out of balance with your fitness for like the last 7 years. Would it be actually any shame if you adjusted the dial to like an 8 or 9 for even 3 months? So that's why I'm like, for the first 3 months of 2026, I recommend anyone who is not happy with their shape, they don't like the way they look in the mirror in the morning, they're not confident in their clothes, like, go be out of balance in the right way, fitness wise, for 3 months. It's like, don't be half pregnant. Don't dip your toes and say it didn't work for you. Go all in, okay? Go all in for 90 days. And I promise you, you know yourself, once you actually push, and 3 months is still a decent amount of time, it's way easier after that to have balance and maintain when you've built the physique. But until you get there, sometimes if you just go through one season of really pushing hard, okay, the progress is on the other side of that.
So true. Yeah, I can agree with that more. I think that like, balance is something that you earn. It's not something that you just get from day one. And it's like you said, if someone has been doing the wrong shit for 10 years and they've not been balanced, so like, why do you think you have that straight away? And I think it's a lot of coaches, maybe not so much now, but like, I think that was a thing at one point. Like, there was all this like balance preached and stuff.
For sure.
How you can have it all, and it's like trying to sell the dream. I think if you want to achieve anything big and
100%.
in the quickest amount of time and in the most effective way, I do think you have to be all in 100%. The way that I like to live my life is like, I don't try and achieve loads of balance at once. Like, I don't try and have loads of a great social life whilst running the business and like, I don't know, dating and stuff as well. Like, what I like to do is like prioritize certain areas of my life at certain points of the year. So like, when I was in Bali, like, there was a period, it was summer, where I was enjoying myself a bit more. I wasn't maybe working as much. I was probably still training relatively hard. I was a little bit more social. Like, I was maybe going to bed a bit later. Like, I just wasn't quite as all in as maybe like what I'm at now. Whereas like now, like, since I've been back in Dubai, like, my balance is basically just prioritizing business, which has been good because like, last month we had a really good month, and training. So like, my training now is taking a huge priority, which is kind of similar to what we're speaking about with
100%.
because I want to achieve that result and I want to do the best that I can. When I go back in a couple of weeks' time for Christmas, I will reverse that, and I'll probably then be a lot more focused on spending time with my family, enjoying more downtime, and I won't be as pushing as hard with business because I'll be able to turn the business off for a couple of weeks for sure, and switch. So I think instead of trying to do it all at once, like, just think of certain areas of your life over the next, let's say, quarterly or 3 months that you want to see flourish as quick as possible. Prioritize that area, and then you can put the brakes on a little bit because, like you said, when you're in shape and you've been through that, let's say, pretty grim part of dieting, let's not sugarcoat it. Like, being in a calorie deficit for 3 or 4 months, 5 months, it's not going to be amazing, is it? Like, you are doing something which is putting your body out of whack. So you do it to get to the good part, to maintain
100%. And then you have it, man.
That's the key thing.
There's a great saying, Tom Odden, he runs a business here in Dubai. He was on my podcast a while back, over 2 years ago. He just said, micro periods of imbalance will lead to macro periods of balance. So it's like, you go through that micro period of pushing for, let's say, 1 or 3 months, 6 months, okay, where you're, maybe you're out of balance slightly in other areas, but then in the long term, that's going to lead to balance in all areas. So it's like, as you said, if you go all in for even just 3 months, you'll make a lot of progress, no matter what you're starting point.
100%. When I think about the big things that I've achieved or like things I've accomplished that I'm proud of, it's never come as a result of balance. Anything I've achieved that's been like, that's been good in my life. It's like I've gone all in on that particular thing.
Yeah.
It's like when I competed or when I did a photo shoot, I was all in on my fitness and my dieting at that point. And, I was proud of what I achieved in those results with my business, like get it to a certain level where I wanted to really
100%.
scale to move to Dubai. I pushed the business hard. I got it to that place. So it's never been a result of trying to like spin all the plates at once to enjoy myself. It's like, right, what am I really wanting to prioritize? And then I go to that area. And I think that's, if you think about,
For me in business, like I remember when I was working as a teacher, I used to get up in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, like train first thing, then I would study, then I drive to work, on the way to work, listen to an audiobook, go to work, then get back home, out the door straight away, coach clients in the evening. And I was doing that for, I nearly got to a point of burnout. But I think when you really appreciate rest and when you work hard, and when you go through that period of like, God, geez, that was hard, but you don't realize at the time when you're going through it. But then when you're out the other side, you're like, God, that's actually my limit. That's what I'm capable of doing. That, okay, if you like just maybe move things down 1 or 2 scales and that, you realize, okay, if I can actually stay here now and be in that more balanced phase, you're actually capable of achieving a lot.
true. Yeah, you push your limit.
You reach, exactly. The extremity builds capacity. So it's like you find that limit, and then it's like, right, okay, I don't want to run the red line all the time, but if I just take it down a notch or two, that's my sweet spot.
It's so true. And I just think as well that like people, I feel like in some respects, it sounds like really grim to say this, but like life's not meant to be easy. I don't know why people sometimes think that like everything's meant to be easy, everything's meant to be fun, like everything's not going to be a challenge sometimes. Like it's meant to be hard. Like as guys, our life is meant to be hard. We're meant to go through pain, we're meant to go through things that are going to be uncomfortable. And maybe the uncomfortable part of people right now is, making the decision to change, to get in shape, to go through that grind period for 12 weeks to 16 weeks to lose weight, to track calories. Like, it's not meant to be easy. It's not meant to be fun, but like life's not always about that. Like, to get to the good parts where we are being able to like enjoy what we've worked hard for, it's going to come as a result of pain and sacrifice
100%.
that I think that most people just aren't willing to put in. And I think that the world has got a bit soft now where like it's that uncomfortable, like happy to stay, not be as where you like not get to the place that you can get to essentially from
I feel it myself over here. I'm like, when I get back home, I just want to get back running the rain. It's like, it's easy to get soft if you live out here where it's sunny year round and it doesn't rain a lot. But sometimes it's like, I really appreciate the days where you're just out running the lashing rain and it's you in the countryside. It's like they build your character.
I agree.
I kind of like
some of those to some
like
runs as
man, even it's like because the gyms are so good over here. It's like we've got a little home gym that I would have built in COVID. It's like sometimes I just enjoy those sessions where you've got 3 layers. It's absolutely freezing outside, but you still get it done, man. So it's like it's so easy to get soft now. It's like that's why for me, I always like to challenge myself. I'm like
every day,
just remind myself, that look, other people have it much worse than you, and you got to do something uncomfortable that's going to push you. But when you look back at your life achievements, all the stuff that was uncomfortable, you pushed through it, Like, even if it's just you ran a 5K, one guy said to me, you did a 5K PR, you ran a marathon, okay, you did a high rocks. They're not easy when you do it. When you come out the other side of it, it's like,
100%.
that's what you appreciate.
Yeah.
So you look back at yourself on your wedding day, on your child's communion, or on any of these big events, and you put the work in, and that you feel good there. It's like, okay, maybe the work leading up to there will be difficult, but sometimes you have those sessions where you don't build a lot of strength, but you build character. That's where, as you said, okay, it's Blue Monday on the 10th of January. It's leg day. It's lashing rain outside. It's pitch black. You want to stay in bed, but you go to the gym anyways. You don't appreciate those moments, but they build your character. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like you just keep stacking wins and win, and it's just all of a sudden that compounds.
I think that if I had to say like, what is the one trait that will get you successful? Not even in just for a body transformation perspective in terms of fitness, just in general in life, would be discipline. Like what you just said there, like if you can be disciplined and do things when you don't want to do them and show up to yourself when you don't want to do them, like you will win at life, because that is literally what this is all about. This is what everything comes down to that. Like being inconsistent, the all or nothing mindset. Guys do it when they want, they don't do it during certain times of the year. It's down to nothing else but being disciplined as an individual, because ultimately guys know that they need to do it. People know that they should be going to the gym, they should be eating the right food, but they don't.
For sure.
And that's because they're almost relying on what, like, motivation or someone to tell them they need to.
I think though it comes back to environment too, because it's like,
Environment.
look, if I'm around you and you're around more like-minded people, you're more likely to actually want to do that. So it's like, have you heard of the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence?
I haven't, no.
He's this guy based in the US. He did 50 Ironmans, which is a
That
1.9 mile swim,
very impressive.
a 112-mile bike, and a marathon in 50 states in the US. So he had to travel to every different state in 50 consecutive days. So imagine doing that for 50 days in a row. And he always said that intentional suffering, like just intentional suffering. Every day he does something that will push him physically, emotionally, spiritually. But then he comes out a new man. Like, you speak to God doing something like that. I can't even obviously relate to that. But it just shows what's possible with the human minds. And I think for anyone, it's like, if you are stuck, or if you're in a place now where you want to improve, or maybe the people around you, it's like your environment is not just who you hang around with. It's also who you listen to, the content you consume. And even there's so much great content there. There's so many great podcasts, so many great YouTubers out there that if you want to better yourself, but the people around you are at a lower level of where you are right now, even just listen to those, okay? Listen to good audiobooks. It will just help your mind become more familiar with what you want to focus on and what you want to achieve.
Agreed, yeah. I remember when I recorded a podcast with Simon recently in Bali.
Simon Thompson.
Yeah. So like,
guy.
I asked him, how do you condition change? Like,
Sure.
how do you change your identity as a man, right? And that was the first thing he said: environment. Like, you have to change your environment, and it is so true.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever really truly going to be able to change yourself if you're just constantly in the same freaking environment all the time. And you have to have a real like hard word on yourself. It's like, if you're with a partner that is getting you down and isn't going to be able to get you to you have to do the right thing. It's like kind of what happened with me. Like, I my ex wasn't holding me down. She was nice. She was supporting me, but that environment was not conducive to me. I would not be sat here right now recording a podcast with you in Dubai. And I'm not saying I'm like this fucking most successful person on earth. Like, I'm I feel like I've got myself to a good point. I'm proud of where I'm at, but I wouldn't be doing that if I'd stayed in comfort 3 or 4 years ago and I didn't decide I need to change my environment. I need to get out of this situation to get to where I am now.
Yeah.
And I look back at what, I've achieved in the last few years, where things are at. And yeah, it's like, I don't know what would have happened if I'd stayed there. And it was uncomfortable. It was hard. Of course, like, ending a relationship it's like it's the most horrible thing. Like, it's consuming you. Like, it's very, very uncomfortable. But I think there's so many guys or people that just stay in the same little bubble because they're scared to change.
I think it's yeah. There's a great Dan Martella, heard him say it was interesting when he said, he's like, look,
podcast.
you can think as positive as you want, you can do all the affirmations, the meditation, but if you put yourself in a freezer, you're going to be cold. That's a great thing. It's like, it's hard because
I like that.
I was in a place there when I was in Ireland, and I just I didn't like the gym that I was in, didn't really like the environment I was in, and man, it was like, it's hard to be in a good mood sometimes when like just you find it hard to be grateful for the small things. So it's like, that was why like I just need to change my environment. And I know some people are in a similar situation. It's like they're surrounded by a lot of negativity, and that's hard. And it's like, if you marry someone, God, like, we've one guy with us, I'm not gonna obviously say the name, but it's like him bettering himself has almost brought some insecurities in his partner, that she feels he's taking things a bit too seriously. But that's actually But that's her own insecurity that she would have had when she was younger. And she's essentially kind of bringing that onto him. So he's like, I'm so happy with my progress now, but I nearly have to like do this without informing her as much because she wants to hold me back. That's a hard place.
That would be really tough. I've seen this as well. I mean, when you actually think about it, it makes complete logical sense. It's like, if you get a couple and they're both, let's say, not in the best of shape, and the guy's like, I'm sick of this, I want to make a change.
Yeah.
Guy comes in, gets a 6-pack. Not say he's going to get more attention from other females, but to the partner, maybe that's what they think. Or maybe they just think they're inadequate now because their partner is in much better shape and the guy's looking ripped and stuff.
Yeah.
So of course, natural thing that the female does is, right, I'm going to try and, pull my partner down, or like try and...
So she's attracted to the 1.0 version. He stepped into the 2.0, and she doesn't want to meet that 2.0. She wants to bring him back to the 1.0.
And I think when you're in that situation, I mean, that is, unless the partner also levels up as well to get to that.
Yeah.
It makes it very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's why, like, ultimately who you decide to settle with and spend your, like, it's like the most important.
It's the most important decision.
It is the most important decision.
Yeah.
Because if that happens and you're in that situation,
Yeah, that's why one of my clients like, are you married? I'm like, no, I'm quite picky with these things. He's like,
don't even.
worry. But
Well, to this day, I don't even know if I'll get married. I've heard so many guys I like who have got married and put themselves in these situations. Again, like they've been completely.
I think no, it's like business. It's like business. Like when you hire your first employee, they're probably not the best. When you go through enough, you're like, right, this is actually like you're
hire an employee, they don't take it off you.
Exactly.
It's like, what I mean?
We're talking about this in a podcast
As well, yeah. That's the thing, right? Like, yeah.
But it's environment in everywhere though. It's like even I've worked with different coaches too. It's like you get things from different ones, but it's like if you're in the right environment, whether it's with your fitness, your business, your family, your life, you're just in a better vibration. So
yeah, I think so. I think it's like everything. Like like we've gone through. You've got the right environment. You become more disciplined. Start becoming more consistent. That's the key. Like if you're going into the new year now, we're recording this in December. Like if you start working on those three things, like improve your overall environment,
sure,
become more disciplined and consistent, you'll get amazing results. And I think ultimately this is why it comes down to, are you really going to be able to go and do this by yourself and actually get there without hiring a coach and getting some help? And it isn't a plug at ourselves, but I think that's one thing that people.
I think men have such, because I used to have that as well. It's like arrogant, almost like it's a sign of weakness if you reach out for support. But now it's like who, not how. It's like who can help me get to the next level, not how can I get there. And that's why I said at the start, like with that first $6,000, honestly, the guy sent me the link. We had a call. He's like, it's $6,000 for 8 weeks. I'm like, my heart dropped. Like that's how much money I earned in nearly 3 months as a teacher. And he off the phone, he sent me on the link. So I had time to think about it. Like, do I really want to make this? I told him I would, but do I actually want to? Man, the best thing ever, that Apple Pay, it freaking changed my life. So I think with that, it's like, it's the power of one small decision can go a long way.
So true.
Or because I know we're about to wrap up. What 2026 is around the corner. We both had pretty good 2025s. What's the vision, Chris?
In terms of business or
general, it's like
general
health, well, love, fulfill, whatever it is. The four quarters.
You're short. So okay, so fitness, health wise, obviously I'm preparing for my first Hyrox at the moment. So that is my real priority. I've got that in March in Bangkok. So I'm running 2 races on that now. So we've got a singles, which I'm looking forward to. First one.
Yeah.
And I've got the doubles with Matt. So myself and Matt want to do a sub hour because we were so close last time. So that's the unfinished business.
You would crush that.
I think we'll crush that. But honestly, I want to do a sub hour myself. So maybe that's a little bit of an ambitious goal, but I'm always wanting to set big goals.
Yeah.
If I set a big goal, like I'm always going to be, even if I don't quite achieve it, I'm still going to have got very far with it. But I truly think I can get that. So I'm training like probably the hardest I've ever trained at the moment. Twice a day. As I said, I've got to coach myself and I'm pushing my training really hard. So that's the initial goal. Going to do Burj to Burj as well as a bit of a warm up.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah.
So got that, and then I don't know. After the Pyrex in March, I've not decided where I'll go to next in terms of fitness. I think business wise, in terms of where I'm pushing that, I think I'm really excited. We've got our biggest shoot in a week, 15 clients doing that, so we're going to have some absolutely incredible journeys and stuff like that. So I just want to keep pushing the brand, keep impacting more people.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a big splurge of growth in the new year. I've finally feel like I've got a very good team. Like I've got obviously Matt, my brother. I've obviously now got another coach, Alex, who I'm really, really fond of.
Sure.
Some good back end team as well. So just we're gonna push it big.
Progress. Yeah, absolutely, man.
What about yourself?
Yeah, health wise, honestly, the last while it's been like too cardio dominant that I feel I just want to get my strength back. Like I felt my best when I was like playing sports, when I was going to the gym and I was like 85 kilos, 10 or 12% body fat. So I'm roughly like 83 at the moment. I want to put on like a bit of mass now, like just lean gain like for all the next year, keep cardio at a maintenance level and really push my strength. Just get to a point where I was like felt my strongest a few years ago. In terms of competitions, I'm not sure. It's like, I like to have a competition to work toward, but sometimes, man, it's like strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. In the last few years, especially doing too much cardio, I felt that I lost some of my strength. I want to regain that, rebuild that. And And then like business wise, yeah. So this year we were third live event coming up, and just I just get a lot of personal fulfillment from them. Like, you know yourself, it's like it's not convenient doing these things. You're flying home, you're organizing an event. They obviously cost a decent amount of money, but it's like, honestly, that's sometimes you don't see the fruits of your labor when you're on the laptop 12 hours a day. But those events, man, I just get such fulfillment from them. So
Yeah.
I want to do at least 2 to 3 more of those next year. Really push those, hire another coach, and just get as many transformations as possible. It's like it's what it's all about. And then hopefully purchase my first property too.
Sick.
That'll be a big personal goal.
Yeah.
What's that? Health, wealth, business wise, that'll be love. I don't know, whatever. Would I find the one next year, Chris?
What relationship?
Put yourself in the right environment at least for it. I'm not going to find someone at 3 a.m. in a nightclub.
No,
It's going to be in a business event. It's going to be in the gym. It's going to be something like that.
It's so true.
But just put yourself in those
I'm
environments.
like in a position now where I'm living my life. I'm building my business. I'm working towards my fitness goals. I'm not looking for anyone to come in, but I
For sure.
I know if I keep doing the right things that make me happy, I will, hopefully at some point meet the right person as well. But I'm not looking for it, because I find that if you go out looking for these things, you never meet the right people.
Or you make decisions you're empty because you're in the scarcity mindset.
Exactly, right. Where if you just do the things that you love, you just don't worry about that too much. Not that I worry about it anyway, but like I just find it then naturally I'll attract the right people. Like I'm not desperate to be in a relationship. I think we both live lives that I travel a lot, I move around a lot, I'm always in different places. I find it hard to be able to like actually be in a place where I can like properly find something with someone. So for me, if I was to meet someone, it would probably be for someone that can actually travel and do things that I want to do as well. But I mean, I just turned 30. I'm still consider myself pretty young. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not,
I know it's the best is yet to come. Actually, another thing I'll do next year, I booked Tony Robbins. He's doing an event in Germany, Unleash the Power Within. So that's on last September. Yeah, I just bought tickets there. It's like he was like my first ever mentor back like nearly 2007. I read that was the first ever personal development book I read was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, and that changed my life. So it's like it'd be pretty cool now to see him actually. Yeah, Warren, he's a Venice fan. Yeah, so I want to bring relief for that in September.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, I think we could probably continue for a long time, but anyway, I think
Chris, where can people learn more about you?
Instagram's probably the best place. Chris_FitLab. I do have obviously a YouTube channel as well, which will be getting broadcasted on. So I actually don't know what my YouTube tag is. Do you know? It's just I mean, you'll probably find it. Yeah, obviously the podcast, which we'll be listening on.
What's the name of your podcast?
Lean 365 podcast.
Lean 365.
Yeah, I think I'm on about 130 or 40 episodes. Just saying, we're pushing it up a little bit. For consistency again. What about yourself? Where's the best place to find you?
Instagram, Adrian_Mac Lifestyle Fitness. Podcast is the Business Athlete Show, and then YouTube is Mac Lifestyle Fitness as well.
Awesome. Nice. Mate,
All right, great.
Pleasure.
Pleasure as always, mate.
Awesome.